Hey everybody, what's up, squad? It's Suzette Speaks here, and I'm so glad you are watching this episode. I appreciate you finding me on YouTube, and whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you are welcome to join the conversation. This is called Let's Talk, and we're going to talk today about Superwoman Syndrome. I hope you guys are familiar. If you guys don't know me, I'm Suzette Speaks. I'm an attorney here in South Florida, and I have a special guest. Can you guys believe it? I have a special guest here. She is the former commissioner for North Bay Village. That's in Miami, if you guys don't know. And she's going to talk about her experience with Superwoman Syndrome and how she finds balance. Hey, Hot Chocolate, I got the folks already in the building. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for letting me know you're watching. And again, don't be afraid to share and subscribe. If you're brand new, welcome to the channel. I do Justice Talks, which is law talks on Saturdays. And then during the week, I kind of mix it up. So we're going to do women's empowerment today. So I hope you guys are feeling that. That's the kind of mood I'm in. So without further ado, let me bring this beautiful woman onto my screen. Welcome, welcome. How are you today, Adriana Jackson? Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, Suzette. Thank you for having me.
I'm so pumped because they were like, yo, mix it up, put some guests into this. And I'm like, okay, yes, I will wax philosophical every now and then. But I want the people to get to know you. I know you're an extraordinary woman. You have dedicated yourself to both public service, helping your community, all these wonderful parts of you that I know are hard to balance sometimes. So first and foremost, let me just ask, I know you got into public service, ran for office. That's a big deal, putting yourself out there. What we try to say, what sane person would really want to actually take, part in getting into politics? What was the impetus that got you involved in wanting to run for office?
Well, first of all, I just want to start off. Thank you for having me on here. It's an honor. We've been trying to get together for years, and so it finally happened.
Yes.
What segment? It was community involvement. I started off with on the boards here. I'm not originally from South Florida. I'm originally from Kansas City. And so I think it was an issue with the strip club. A developer wanted to put a strip club in one of his properties, and the community rallied. I met a gentleman who got me involved. He gave me a flyer, and I came to the meeting. They said, oh, you talk so articulately, and we want to see you back here. The next thing I knew, I was on a board. I was on the community enhancement board where I served for 2 years as the chairman. And then the next time there was an opening, a lady stepped down. I stepped up and I put my name up, and I was I was appointed my first year in office. And then after that year of the appointment, I ran for office. And so awesome. I did it for 5 years.
you gotta love Miami-Dade County when it all starts with a strip club one way or another. I'll leave it there. But fantastic. So it kind of snowballed. One key issue that you really, believed in, or in this case, didn't want to see. You rallied, you went to meetings, and all of a sudden you're on a board, and then you're on the board. There are people like, oh, wait, I like this lady. What about running? And then it goes on from there. So congratulations on all your success there. So I wanted us to get into, and hey, Terry, thank you for joining me. Please, if you're watching, go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. I'm so grateful this wonderful powerhouse of a woman could come on. And I'm asking her today about a topic called Superwoman Syndrome. If y'all have never heard of this is very real. It's a term that was coined, I looked it up, in 1984 originally, and it describes women who have a whole bunch on their plate, and they're juggling, trying to, be, in some cases, mom, juggle the career, juggle the relationships, be active in the community the way you have been, and all those other things. And in doing so, they are losing themselves. They are literally self-sacrificing, and oftentimes, forgetting to take care of themselves and stretching themselves way too thin in order to, please others and be all that they can be or what they're really expected to be. I wanted to ask you today, did you ever experience a time in your life where you were dealing with Superwoman Syndrome? And can you, explain what that period was like for you?
Well, anytime you're in office, anytime you're a professional woman, you are juggling many different hats. And it really wasn't until I was at office that I noticed it, that I had taken on the stress. I think it was like my last year in office that I noticed how much stress I was taking on. And the stress had turned into weight gain, not excessive drinking. I don't want to say that, but drinking too much wine, things like that to try to cope. Finally, I like in 2019, I took more control of my body. I lost around 60 pounds. Due to COVID, I gained like 20 of it back. So,
Well, we all got to struggle. Praise God. But I'm glad you're keeping it so transparent, because a lot of people don't like to talk about what they use as their coping mechanism. So I'm proud of you and thank you for your transparency. But continue, please.
no, it was just, just the food, the wine, things, things that weren't serving me, actually harming me. When I look back on those pictures and how I was looking, my body was crying for help. No doubt about it. So I took control of it. I was walking, drinking herbal teas, cut out a lot of the alcohol. And when I say alcohol, it was wine. I'm not a heavy drinker like that, but still, it brought calories. And so that's what I did. I've taken control of my life. And now that I'm still trying to get these COVID, we can go back into the gym. It's just about mostly just taking ownership. Like, this is my time. I tell my business partner, okay, I can do that, but at this time I have Pilates. At this time I have yoga, things like, and really sticking to that. It's very serious. And so
well, I know there are a lot of people watching, men and women, that will relate to what you're saying. Trust me, you are not alone when it comes to trying to balance life and then dealing with stress and then having, people watching you. You're in public office, you have, a career, company, and all these things that you're doing all at once. And, women who have families and all that other stuff. It's like, wait a minute, when am I supposed to breathe? When am I supposed to be able to say, I got to take a step back? So if you're experiencing something like this, drop a comment, let us know that you're watching. And definitely, I know there are people that are going to watch and identify with you. So thank you again for being so open. So the take control moment, was that like all of a sudden, did you go cold turkey? Like, okay, I'm gonna stop, every 4 p.m. wine hour, not you. I'm not sure what your wine hour was, but please know that you were not alone. This pandemic was rough. So there are definitely folks, looking at themselves in the mirror. And for other people, it was, fill in the blank. It was something that we used to try to help us feel normal and less stressed out. So was it cold turkey for you? Did you just jump off the bandwagon, so to speak, or were you prompted? Does life remind you? Sometimes life will throw you that like, whoa, wake up call. What was it like for you when you decided to make a change?
It was mostly, once I turned myself over to like the teas, things like that, it was easier to, I don't really need to, I don't need the alcohol. I'm exercising. The tea, the ginger teas or the herbal teas are just, they're therapeutic. And it's
And it
mostly
brought you
about,
down. It made you feel like more relaxed in the evenings and stuff like that.
right. It's like, because actually the alcohol was making me more stressed out. If you actually, it adds to your anxieties and things like that.
Absolutely.
And
I
so,
think people get that mixed up. Absolutely. Don't mean to cut you off, but I do think
no,
people think alcohol is actually a solution. And then it oftentimes, not only weight gain, but other parts of us, it messes up your clarity. It doesn't give
right.
you the
Your system, your spirit. And one of the things that I decided to get into was more meditation.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yay. So I'm here today with a good friend. It's been a while, y'all. That's why I wanted to make our reunion via YouTube, and she obliged. We were gonna just, kick in. I was like, what about, all the women that are watching and guys who feel this sense of overwhelm? Obviously, the pandemic hasn't been the easiest road for many of us. And many of us also, need to hear how people overcome these dips that we have in life, the challenging seasons that we have in life. We all have them. And COVID, listen, I was looking online. I'm just gonna hey, Queen of the South, thank you for letting me know you're watching. I appreciate you joining the conversation. And I was listening out how bad I am, and I'm just gonna keep it real with you right now. So I was looking up this guy on Facebook because I can be a Facebook super sleuth, and he was not my high school boyfriend. I'm not gonna lie. This is how bored you are after COVID, right? So I'm like, no, this is not my high school boyfriend. I'm telling him I'm a business, but I looked him up just to see, hey, and what he looked like now. There was a weird curiosity I had. I was like, oh my God, this person came back to, my mind. And I look him up. And baby, that COVID ain't playing no games with people. And that is not a judgment thing. It was just so random that I was just like, whoa, I wonder what happened to so-and-so. And I saw him and I thought, whoa, this is like really kind of like, he's almost symbolic of what many people, for some people it's not food, and it just manifests in other ways. Some people, their levels of, I don't know, I would just say just toxicity in different areas of life can manifest with, all kinds of stuff. And we don't have to go, real deep to know what's affecting you and how it's affecting you. Y'all know how it's affecting you. But for us, we just wanted to, encourage people today and really try to talk about how we were able to get back into balance and get back on track. So we wanted to share with you a special woman's journey. And again, I am so proud of her. I know she has come through, some very tough times, and she's still here. So we're going to talk about the meditation piece. Let's get into meditation, because I'm not a person, I don't know if I meditate, because I've never really been formally taught. So yeah, I'm always bouncing back on YouTube. I see you in these YouTube streets. Thank you for coming through. Thank you to the squad for checking in. I appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about what you use in terms of meditation. How did you get into meditation, and what does it look like for you?
You're just, when you're at that point, mostly in yoga. That's how I started it. And just taking it back home with me. One of my friends introduced me to an app. And I've been saying, I get up and I do these things, and it helps me focus and helps the vibration. It's all about your intention and how do I intend for my life to go? How do I intend for my day to go? Let's just start there. And it's all about, vibrating on that same wave of what I want to do. And I think I kind of want to segue back just a little bit. Being a Black woman, sometimes we're not usually allowed to do these things, because we have a lot of different demands, times. Like you said, I'm not a mother, but, I do, you do answer to other people, you have things going on.
Oh, no, you got a boss. It might not be a child, but you got a boss for real.
Right.
For real.
And so one of the things that we need, as Black women, we have to do, like I said, you have to take your time back and you have to take your power back. And demanding, like, I need some me time. This is what I need to do to make myself better. This is what I need to do to heal myself. And I think it's so important. And I don't think, a lot of us don't believe we're allowed to do it. And I think it goes back to even slavery times. I just got done reading a book right now. Mm-hmm. I'll show you this book. I don't know if you can.
Oh, let me get it. Let me get it full screen. Hold on. Let me get it quick. Thank you, Hot Chocolate. Suzette working this stream fast. I'm trying, babe. I'm trying to get on these YouTube streets. Let me go to her as a solo. Nice. Never Caught by Ona Judge. Ooh, the Washington's relentless pursuit of a runaway slave. Really?
Yes.
Wow. Untold story.
Yeah, for me, for things like, slavery wasn't really that long ago. When you really think about it, and the ownership of human beings, especially the role that Black women played during slavery. And we didn't belong to ourselves. We belonged to others. We weren't treated as human. We weren't treated as feminine. And we still really aren't. We have to claim that. And
you're getting deep, sis. You're getting deep, because I'm thinking about all the pop culture icons. I know, thinking about our beloved Simone Biles, thinking about Naomi Osaka, thinking about how they had to stand up for themselves. I see Queen of the South say, yes, self-care is not selfish, or for other races. Absolutely. We do not traditionally, Black Americans, think this is ours. I think I get what you're saying, Queen of the South. I know you're typing kind of fast there, but I get you. And when I look at how brave it was for them to stand up for themselves and saying, I'm not okay. I'm not going to put my life at risk, or emotionally, I don't know if I'm going to survive this right here. So if I go play this next, tournament, you guys are not going to, see, you're not going to be the ones that have to put the pieces back together when I'm on the ground crying, scraping myself out the shower. Hello, somebody. We've been there. So
basically it's just for your entertainment.
Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. It's basically just for entertainment. These women aren't here solving, rocket science. Simone Biles is tumbling for our entertainment because she can do something that no other, other woman can really do in her field. And she's actually scored differently because of it, because they're not to her level. And so she's penalized because everybody else is mediocre and she's not.
Imagine. Hello, be the best, but don't be too good, because we're going to make sure we score you down. and penalize you for being as great as you are. I see you over the top. WME, welcome, beautiful lady. Hey, yes, we do need our own healing time. Wife, mom, and entrepreneur. I hear you, sis. It's important to find your own balance. Yes, that's what we wanted to do with this stream today. Just remind you of that because so many of us are doing a lot. COVID, we kind of opened up a little bit, and some of us are still healing from what the year of total lockdown did to our mental health and did to our habits and did to what we think we're capable of. Oftentimes, and I was just talking to my cousin about this, I was like, honey, do you need therapy? Because this is a huge reset. We've had to transition out of one major life change that we didn't expect to another whole different life change, and life is starting back up again. As you're saying, business is coming back. We're trying to make money again. We're trying to be free again, and think of, not being afraid of another human being when we see them coughing, when they sneeze, and when we're like, whoa, 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 where's your mask at? Where's your mask? There's a whole mental shift that has really taken control, that for us, it has been very difficult. And for some people, they process it different. Some people have, a lot of fortitude in this season. Others have been kind of weary and worn down. So as you've been talking about meditation, so did you just go to a yoga class and they were just telling you, here's how you meditate, or how did that happen? Because I've never been to a yoga class. I've faked yoga. I'm not going to say it's like aerobic, like gym yoga. I'm not even going to say I've been to true yoga. My brother actually invited me to go to goat yoga. Have you heard about this in South Florida?
Yes,
have you gone to goat yoga?
I live on the beach.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, ma'am.
No,
it's good, sis. It's a good thing.
Just let me tell you, taking myself over to Midtown
to go goat yoga, you already got the beach next to you. You good?
Well, I'm going to pass like 20 other yoga studios before I get there. Now, I heard it's amazing yoga. If I can one day, I'll try it.
Yes. But we could go together when you get tired of the beach settings. We could try the yoga with the goats. Apparently, this is like a thing down here, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream it because I'm curious about it myself. But back to your journey into yoga and meditation. So you got invited. How did that open you up? How did that serve as that gateway? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
It's something that has been happening. Anytime you go to a yoga, you do have like, let me see. It really started going to full moon yoga. That's where the meditation is. Really, you're outside, you're with the moon, and you're with other people, and you're taking in those energies. It's a really positive thing because everybody's out there for the same purpose. And then just from there, I kind of started doing my own research. YouTube's a great thing. From YouTube, I have an app that I pick my own people that I met who meditate and say my affirmations. And let me tell you something. I had to go back to when Oprah was talking about all these things and negative energy and negative interactions and how two negatives aren't going to make a positive. So I'm not going to comment on those types of things. I didn't understand what she was talking about until after this pandemic, until after I went on this journey of how energy works and how, vibrating high and just being light.
Yeah, I think so. Realize that. That's real. What you focus on grows first in your mind, in your headspace, and then can either, and I hate the word, like, I don't hate it because it's hard to describe for people, like manifest. Like people are manifest, but baby, if you could manifest, where your $1 million at? Where your husband at, where all of this is, excuse me, I'm just saying, but it's not as easy in all areas of life to manifest. But I do agree with you when it comes to just setting an intention and a tone, not only for your life, hello somebody, your day, hello somebody, your relationships, hello somebody. I think it's it breaks down to where can you begin and where is it important to recalibrate first. And I hear you, just being out. And I love the moonlight. Would you say moonlight yoga? Or
full moon yoga.
Full moon yoga. I think that's a vibe. I'm like, wait a minute, I might have to join you. Hey guys. Hey, I love it. Over the top. WME say, is she flexing us? She's flexing on us. She's living on the beach. Hey, no, she didn't mean it like that. I was just making fun. Thank you. Yes, afternoon. Sak Basay, afternoon. Appreciate you joining. This lady has a busy day. We have her for a few more minutes, but I definitely want to get into a little bit more meditation. Go ahead. Please.
I just have one more thing I want to, in case we run out of time. I think for Black women, we also have to be, and this is for Black men as well, we have to be able to set boundaries. If somebody's treating you bad, and if you feel bad when you're with a person, do not be afraid to cut that person out of your life. Persons, things, situations that aren't serving you. And I think that's really hard. I think that's really hard for us. It's,
That's a
and I'm not
word.
gonna lie, sometimes
Don't
you keep
don't just skip over that. That's a word because it is within us. I think as a culture, it is as every part of the diaspora I've seen, whether you're coming from, family from the Caribbean, family from the continent itself, as recent brought over from the continent, whether you're, American, descendants of American enslaved Africans here, Central America, we are loyal to a flaw when it comes to relationships, when it comes to people that are not serving us. Oh my God, that's a word right there, sis. When it comes to the ones we love the most, that can literally be breaking us down and hurting us in a way that we don't tend to understand. We tend to be taught to forgive, and I think there's a religious framework around that too. And I believe in, with Bible, good book. I don't know if you're reading the Quran or the Bible, what you're reading, I don't know. But, forgiveness is huge for us. But yet and still, there are relationships and people that do not serve us well in this season. And maybe you need to get off the phone and cut the conversation, sis, with people who are not serving you, not building up your spirit, who are taking from you, gossiping about you even, that it. You know when you don't feel right. You know when it feels heavy or a
but we
little
still
bit
say,
soft. And it's
and we
hard
can't keep doing
to
that.
separate ourselves sometimes because we feel, but that's my girl from high school or my girl from, growing up together, or we used to work together and all that. Bye. Sorry, I just feel very strongly about that, and I'm getting better at that. And it might not even be bye for good. It could be bye for now, because sometimes that space, can create enough space for your healing, for you to rediscover you, and not for it to be tainted through their lens and for their intentions or what their ambitions are for the relationship. Oftentimes it's not even, hello, you're going to get me on a soapbox. This is something that I feel. Yes, toxic family. Yes, it's always hard to walk away, but afterwards it gets easy. Hello, somebody. The bye-bye crew is in the building. Again, not everybody, not all the time, and sometimes not even permanently.
Right.
But
What
understand
I like,
who serves you and who doesn't. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
what I like to say is not, don't want to necessarily call it toxic, but just, what I like to say is we're just vibrating differently. They're on a different frequency than I am. I'm here and you're on a different one, and that's fine. Maybe
That's
we'll
a
come
good way
back
to look
together,
at it.
but I'm here right now. And if if those people or who whatever it is not where you're at, you've got to be able to say goodbye.
Yeah, I hear you. And I hear you because they're not bad and they're not necessarily toxic. I hear you.
Right,
And it's not
right.
fair that maybe when they are vibrating, quote, lower, you are just not on that. You've been working on you. You've been drinking your herbal tea. You've been meditating. You've been on the beach yoga and you've been doing you. And you're raising your thought process and you're raising what you want from yourself, from your environment, from your life, from your job. You're just on a different wavelength.
And that's how you manifest.
Ooh, chocolate. Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the lesson. I hear you. Hot chocolate says, I just distanced myself from people that added to prayers, but wanted bad things when out of sight. Ooh, that's deep. Girl, I feel you. I feel you. There are people with even in your circle, and this is not to make you weary of everybody around you. This is just about you evaluating, as she's calling it, the vibration that you're experiencing and versus what they're experiencing. Sometimes it is off. It's not that they're terrible or toxic necessarily. Now, some people are. I've been there too. But I hear what you're saying. Sometimes you have to just make an assessment as of right now. I'm going to do this for me and I'm going to push in a different direction. So you told me, and we were prepping a little, that you meditate all the time and every day. What does that look like for you? I hear you. You get in the yoga, you get in the quiet place. You're learning to like concentrate on the breathing, concentrate on like the outdoors, the moment. What does that look like for you when you say that?
It's mostly when I wake up in the morning, I go sit on my balcony, I turn on my app, I have my tea, and I'm trying to set my intention for the day. Now, for everybody out there, this is something that you got to think on. And I don't know. I don't want to say like, I don't want to come off like this is the end, this is the end all be all, but this is just what has worked for me to calm me down with anxieties, worries, and just, you know what, I'm a blessed human being. That's basically what I'm saying to myself. I'm blessed, I'm abundant, I have no lack, and I'm ready to go forward with the challenges of the day. That's all.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Mhm.
I'm listening, and I am also digesting what you're saying. So that goes back to what you mentioned. Not only do you meditate, but you use affirmations. We've heard that word before, but it's good to be reminded, especially if we haven't been, putting them in practice. So yours are: I'm blessed, I'm abundant. And say it again for me.
I'm blessed, I'm abundant, I'm enough. It can go, I'm confident, I'm
Mm,
accepting all blessings that are coming my way. I'm
mm.
removing all blockages that are blocking my spiritual growth, my physical growth. And
Y'all don't make me run up in here. Thank you very much. I want us to respect her time because she's getting ready for a showing. So I was like, wait, no, please make this happen. Please make this happen. And she did, and
yeah,
I'm
I have
really
to go to work.
grateful. I know, girl, we got to make this money. This is the Superwoman syndrome we're talking about. Time for yourself, time for others. You got to find the balance, ladies. I really want to thank her. I know you got you really got to go, but I'm just grateful that you spent some time here with us. People get to see you and just hear your testimony of how you rebalance after getting into, Superwoman syndrome, which I say phases, but we all
Yes.
go through and drift through. But I appreciate you dropping by. I'm going to stay on for just a quick second, see if my squad has anything else to add. Love you, sis.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Nika.
you. Keep it simple. Adriana Jackson, thank you for spending time with me here today. Love you, sis. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All
God
the
bless.
best. See you soon. See you again soon.
Yes,
Y'all,
ma'am.
feeling my spirit. Feeling my spirit. Feeling my spirit today. Guys, I think I might just leave it there because I had just one intention by asking her to come on because I was like, how do you rebalance? How do you get back to, being, in a frame of mind that's positive? Because we all hear that, positive thinking is what works and you got to manifest and all this jargon, but I don't think people really know how to do it. But I think how Adriana just broke it down, clearing some space. Hello, somebody, anybody else moving some people on out, and or at least giving them a timeout. It's okay, timeout is good, because I think even in COVID, many of us had those feelings where it was like, I love some of my friend girls, I couldn't bring myself to call them. I don't know what it was, and it wasn't because they were bad. And again, as she's saying, they weren't toxic, they didn't do anything to me. But in my own spirit, to settle my own self, I needed my own space. And as she said, particularly as women of color, specifically, we've got to learn to say it's okay to do these things. It's okay to step back. It's okay to withdraw and not be involved in every single activity that everybody wants us to do, because we're always available. We don't want to let our friends down. We want to be the superwoman to our friends, our family, our religious and faith communities, and everybody else. But there comes a time, as we were saying, Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles have been wonderful role models in this regard. They chose themselves. And as much as we have to be, cognizant that there are time to give, but there's also time to give into to oneself, to put oneself first, to prioritize oneself, to ask oneself, what do you want, self? Maybe to go ahead and get that yoga in. I want to join her on the midnight or moonlight yoga. Maybe it's not yoga for you. Maybe it's certain podcasts. Maybe it's something like this, something else on YouTube. Maybe it is the long walks in the park. For me, walk on the beach. I like green. When I get overwhelmed, I like to see outside, right? Maybe it's sitting in the dark with low music. I have a cousin that suffers from migraine. And for her, that's what has to bring her back. She has a lot of stress on her. And I'm like, sis, don't ever let it get like that. Because that can also lead to other things, panic attack and all kind of, anxiety disorders. And those things are real, guys, especially in our community. We don't talk about it as people of color as often as we should. But that rebalance and that time for oneself, we are trying to prove ourselves. We are trying to work hard. We are trying to pay those bills. We are trying to get ahead. We are trying to push our kids ahead. But at the same time, you will break down if you're not careful. And you always have to remember it's okay to reset. It's okay to say, wow, I can't go to another meeting, y'all. I gotta step back. I can't talk to you today. I have too much on my mind. It has to wait. Or I will miss, for me, this baby shower. I'm like, I have 4 baby showers this weekend. I'm not even going nowhere. It's COVID. But I love all of them. I love all of them. I do. I love them. But at the same time, my health, my mental health, only time when I can get a break, I have to use it wisely. So I'm gonna have to send a gift here. I'm gonna have to send a gift card there. I'm gonna have to just buy the registry item there. Know that I love you. No loss of love has changed. But sometimes we get caught up in what everyone else wants from us without allowing ourselves the grace to say, woo, what do I need? What do I need today? And maybe you do need that extra 10 minutes at your lunch break just to walk and not talk to your coworker. It's all good. And maybe you do need that time where mom helps the babysitting. Y'all know, the self-care is real. It has to happen. Otherwise we get lost and then we break down, and the superwoman always finds her way, hopefully back to balance. But it can be very tough when we're running these roads and we're trying our best to be everything to everybody and stretching ourselves super thin and wondering, why we getting sick, why we feeling anxious, why we can't sleep, why we don't have time to exercise, why we don't have time to do nothing for ourselves. Don't get lost. I encourage you, take some time out, like my sisters and Andriana Jackson just shared. Make sure you do your yoga, you meditate, you do your affirmations, you say your affirmations. I am enough, I am abundant, I'm ready for my next blessing. I'm looking for that next open door. The open door is coming towards me. I see a bright future. My future is bright. I have a lot to live for. I have a lot of people that care about me. There are people that I don't even know that care about me. It is a beautiful thing once you start to realize. I'm thinking about all those people that feel despondent and maybe don't think anybody is there, to listen to them. I actually was just talking to my cousin about this yesterday. He was the one who I had shared with you guys had gone through a kidney transplant. And he was just saying, thank you. I hope you do receive it, sis, because that's what we're doing it. He had gone through a kidney transplant. One of his biggest realizations that he shared with me was how many people actually cared. We both were like marveling. He said, Sue, I could not believe, from elementary to middle school to high school, people who he had gone to college with, people who he had worked with, people who he had once talked to, whenever, family, friends of friends, church friends of friends. So many people had known about his challenging, plight, waiting on an organ, and had prayed for him and keep asking about him. He said, I have gotten a text message from some of the, they're not strangers, but you almost wondered, did this many people care about me? And we were talking about this yesterday about young people who, commit suicide, or other people in it. And actually, a high number of women. I was just listening to Gabrielle Union talk about it as a result of, and I think she was like perimenopause. I'd never heard of this. Like all of the things that happen to a woman's body. I might have to do a show on that for women who are going through that phase, because some people go through perimenopause early. Nonetheless, it affects your mind. And she had suicidal ideation, Gabrielle Union. And she said for weeks straight, this was during the pandemic, she could not believe, why am I thinking about hurting myself? Why am I thinking that nobody wants me here, no one cares for me? And, she went to the doctor, and then the doctor expressed that there were other women that had actually had this same type of syndrome as it relates to hormonal changes in a woman's body. And I say, wait a minute, nobody ain't talking about this. I thought to myself, just thinking back to and how she received help, a segue back to Cuz, he said, Sue, I'm just shocked at the amount of people that don't feel nobody loves them, and don't feel that their life has impact, and don't feel like they're doing anything that, anyone else, feels, in terms of their journey, or sees in terms of their journey. And I'm not just talking about social media and that type of visibility. I'm talking about real visibility in terms of just how you live, what you're going through. There are people that feel you. And he said it just took, it's crazy, this whole experience of him going through this whole journey of being on dialysis, getting a kidney all of a sudden 4 years later, and all this wonderful news I've had to celebrate with my family in the last couple, not even a couple weeks yet, less than a week. And he just said, it just amazed me how many people cared, how many people that, were invested in my story, how many people were curious, how many people, not just curious, but literally were invested and prayed and were cheering for him to get to the other side of such a huge, challenge in life. Sickness is something that we cannot predict. And he was like, Sue, one thing it taught me, it was just like how many people really care about you. Like sometimes we think if you die, it's only gonna be your parents, your spouse, or your kids, or maybe your immediate family, or whatever. You'll be surprised how many people, I would say love you or have love for you, admire you quietly from afar, see you, think about you. And I'm not talking about just nosy, I'm talking about in a positive way. You'd be shocked who thinks about you and just, wishes you well. We tend to focus in our culture about, the haters, but there's so many people that care about you. You don't even know them. You don't even know it. And he was like, it just amazed me how many people wanted to just, find out for a good reason, from a good place, how I'm doing, thankful to God for what happened to me, cheering me on, praying for me. I had no idea they even cared or even existed. It is real out here, you guys. It is super real. The community that we have, even COVID has kind of isolated us back again. We don't think we have a community. You do have a community. There are people that love you. There are people that care about you. There are people that wish you well. There are people that are quietly cheering for you. There are people that want you to go as far as your desire allows, your dreams allow. They will invest in you. They will help you. You don't see them. God will send a stranger to bless you. And when you most need it, we have got to remember this, you guys. It can get overwhelming. It can get lonely. This pandemic has caused us to be a little bit, off in many ways. As Adriana shared, turning to the extra wine, the glass of wine every day. It's real. Whatever your coping mechanism is, you can recalibrate. You can get back on track. You can say to yourself, woo, all right, no wine today. I'm going to go for that walk. I'm going to go do that beach yoga. I'm going to say affirmations. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to reach out to that friend who I want to, but I'm embarrassed that I hadn't called them all pandemic. It's been about 16 months, but I still love them. Send a text, y'all. Reach out. You would be surprised how many people reach back. Maybe you wouldn't, but this is just a reminder that there are so many more people that you impact, that you influence, that care about you than you even realize. I hope that it touches somebody today. Just that reminder that people got to understand their community is way bigger than people that you get to see on a daily basis because of COVID. It's bigger, y'all. It's much bigger. And we have to be reminded every now and then, because I know it can get heavy, and I know people can be, despondent and just, in despair. That happens too. And that's natural. That's a human emotion for sure. That happens to the biggest person. What would I say? The person that makes the most money in our culture, the person that makes the least money. We all bleed red, and we all have emotion, no matter how much, we have. But we all have to remind each other. We need each other to remind us that, this is a part of the human journey. We have ups, we have downs. We have challenging times. We are floating other times. We are like in the zone other times. And it's just going to keep fluctuating. That's the hard thing. You don't always stay in, as she says, on that vibration that you want to all the time. It doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you move down a vibration. You're like, whoa, I got to pick it back up. Get around the right people. Do a little bit more self-care. And then you move again. That's life. That's life. It is not always going to be up. Thank you, Sock Boss. I see you. COVID and the whole pandemic had challenged us. Yes, they have. They absolutely have. And more so, I would say 70% mentally. Our physical isolation, human beings were designed for one another. We are a social species. We like gathering, we like eating together, we like the party, we like, the connection of the house of worship. Those are community to us. And for it to be ripped away for a whole year plus, man, it's a miracle more people are, just feeling this sense of just overwhelm. And actually they are, they just not showing it. Because you see it on the news what people are doing and how they're, acting up, at the restaurants and certain things. You're like, well, you really going off on the maitre d'? Like, that's what we're doing now? But I'm like thinking, wow, what that person must be going through internally for them to want to do that. Again, we have been challenged. I agree with you, Sakpase, in terms of how we process what's happening. And when we're holding it in, oh baby, it's gonna come out eventually. For good or for bad, it's gonna come out. So that's why we have to find ways to let it out in a positive way, in a constructive way. Like I said, I don't know if you into yoga. That might not be your thing. Find something that's your thing. Zumba. I just see a lot of my friends are into, now that the gyms are opening back up, they're getting back into it. Whatever it is for you. Reading, getting away, staycation, rent a hotel room right in your city. Staycation. I have done that. I'm like, I can't see my own four walls anymore. I will go crazy. I will need to step out. Sometimes you need to do it. And that's okay, guys. Whatever it is, we want it to make sure it's a positive outlet. It's something that is serving you. When we get back into shape, it serves us. Food has been a comfort for so many of us, me included. But we can reset. We can say, whoa, 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 whoa. You got it for too long. This has gone for too long. We're going to try to do it a different way now. And you can always begin again. It is never too late. That's the beauty of life. Tomorrow's a new day. You can begin again. Oh my God, thank you that we can begin again every single day. It is a beautiful journey we're on. It can be very challenging. That's life. But we're here to uplift, encourage, empower as much as I can. I'm going to be bringing on a lot more ladies like Miss Andriana. I have a special guest Saturday and Monday. I have a gentleman that'll be joining me on next Monday. So I think I'm going to put I don't know, a show reminder. Sakpase says, had to find a new outlet. I'm used to the gym and playing sports when I feel a certain way. So it was tough. Yeah, hello. I'm just thinking about even a family friend. He lived at the gym and no gym. I was like, bruh, I don't know how I'm not talking about like, I'm going to talk about myself, how I'm going to survive. I'm not coming at it from a place of judgment, but I feel you. When I thought, woo, physical activity, I had to hit the backyard to try to do something when we had a lockdowns and we couldn't move. I'm like, let me see some green space. Again, for me, a beauty of a plant, a tree, the breeze blowing, the lakefront, the beachfront, seeing that God is still in control in those ways helps me tremendously. If you want to get to my heart, let's go nature. That's where I am. That always, for me, is a good reset. No matter how I feel tense in the office, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these clients, I can always find my peace in nature, going for a long walk, going for a jog, sitting by the water, put my feet in the water at the beach. That is something that is so powerful. And it just stills me. Whoa, smell that seawater. Smell it. Life is still happening, boo. The sun's still going to rise and it's still going to set. And this big problem that you think you have, or this big issue, or this thing that has just thrown your day off, or that person that has thrown your day off, and this too shall pass. It's good to have that reminder. I wonder what you do. Yay. I appreciate you, Hot Chocolate. I appreciate you so much. Y'all know I am building this channel, so I appreciate all comments and feedback. I hope you're liking this type of stuff. Like I said, I'm going to get into during the week some mental health topics. I have a few guests lined up where I will be, we got to dig. We got to dig a little bit because people still need healing. I realize, where we're lacking therapy, there can be community, and there can be, open discussion and transparency when it comes to how we really feel. I'm not trying to say play feel. How are you? It's like my niece. She's what, 18, 19 months. She is like a parrot now. She mimics everything I say. I love her. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Kennedy, or as she says, Kennedy. And when I say, "Hey, how you doing, baby?" She has all the responses. Again, she just parrots. She says, "How you doing?" "Fine, good." That's her response. So I don't want those type of responses, particularly from my guests. That's why I'm so glad Adriana was so transparent. I don't want the "fine, good, thank you." No, we've been doing that. We've been doing that. And it hasn't served us, because deep down we still got the sense of emptiness. We still got the heaviness. We still got the sense of anxiety. We still have the sense of fear that we don't like to talk about. But the truth helps. Facing it helps. Facing it with others helps. So I am here for that. I am excited for that. I am preparing myself for some of these truths. And I know, and y'all don't know how I started to speak. Y'all know how I started to speak? Did I ever tell you? Well, my women's conference, I'm contemplating whether I'm going to do a live conference in 2022. As I told you, I'm going to be doing some more of those empowerment, self-development, self-discovery topics here. One thing I know is if I do it, yeah, hey, welcome, SM. Glad you're on. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm going to do more self-development topics here. I'm going to bring in my squad, my professionals, my family, marriage and family therapists. I have a good set of speakers who are also licensed, who also helped me when I was doing my live workshops with women. Y'all know my workshops are called Speak. I'm going to throw it up here just so you know. Speak is my brand for women's empowerment. I've been doing live conferences. They've been getting bigger and bigger. The first one, I think it was 2018 at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. It was fantastic. People still talking about that. Women have friendships that are still bonded. I love that. I'm like, those two that you see, thick as thieves, they met at my event. I love that. I love it. I absolutely love it. And when I think about doing it in 2022, I'm like, God, please let COVID calm down so I can go ahead and give people a live experience. So I'm looking into that. I'm going to, like I said, in between the Saturday is my law show. I'm going to try to fit in. Oh, I have Sunday too. Wait a minute. I have Sunday. I have a friend girl. Ooh, that is coming on Sunday. Y'all get ready. I think I have to put on some reminders. I'm actually going to do a show Saturday. Ooh, maybe tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. This is going to be a miracle. Let's see. This is going to be my first back-to-back. So I'm going to be busy this weekend. Sunday, I have a wonderful author coming through, and it was the book title. And then I'm going to do another author. It was her book title that stood out to me. I'm looking at my phone. Sorry for looking down, but I was looking at her book title called The Strongest Woman in the World Is You. Get ready for Sunday. I think we're going to do it Sunday at 3 this coming Sunday. The strongest woman in the world is you. Come on now. My sis Veronique going to be here. Veronique Pierre is going to be here Sunday. So if you're liking the conversation, I'm doing a lot of women's empowerment. Remember, Saturdays is my politics/law show. Saturdays at noon. Let's talk justice. Okay, so yes, we're going to have a busy day. Ooh, I might have to take tomorrow off. I don't know, but tomorrow I had planned to come. Let's see. Saturday for sure. Sunday at 3. Monday with my friend who does mental health. He's going to be on. I asked him basically to come talk about some of the stuff he's seeing with his patients and what has he seen a rise of during the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to get into some of the recommendations he has made to some of his actual clients in his mental health practice. He'll be here. I think we said Monday at 5 or 5:30. Yeah, I think we're going to do 5:30. I think we're going to do 5:30 on Monday. So it's going to be a busy week. again, y'all. I'm excited. Like I said, my wheelhouse, I really get into mental health. I really get into women being reminded of who they are. I see y'all comments. Hold up, let me get out of this banner space and get back to the comments. Yeah, so we're going to do some speaking. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Speak stands for sisterhood, purpose, empowerment, authenticity, and knowledge. That's what Speak stands for. So all of those shows gonna touch on some of them. I see you. I see you. Oh, hey. Oh, he says sock. She says Queen of the South say sock box says in these streets. Hey, Rumpi is the first I've seen you. Rumfall. Sarisha. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome. Welcome. I'm seeing you pop up here. I'm excited. Women's empowerment. You about it, sis? Okay, get ready. Get ready. We're gonna try to change some lives. We're gonna have some impact to make sure we are all just getting better. All right. So I appreciate y'all watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I can't wait to see you on my future show. Y'all be well. Okay. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And to my squad, love you. See you next show. Okay. Take care. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe.